Okay. And we're here live on Facebook with our dear friends of the Building the Heart Center Economy. Thank you very much for being here with us. Dear friends, she's Anne. She's been my customer for quite a while, and she decided to join the Unleash program a couple of months ago. And she kindly agreed to pop by the group and to share with you what her experience has been. So, and thank you very much for joining us. Share with us what made you join the program, and how are you experiencing it?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for inviting me along, Blanca. I'm really happy to share with everyone what's been my experience so far, and I'm really so grateful for you for creating this program as well, for lots of reasons, not just the program and the content itself, which is brilliant, but one thing, when I was sort of a little bit on the fence, like, oh, am I going to join this or not? And we had a call and you mentioned one word which kind of just got me in the heart, and that was sisterhood. And I thought, wow, that's what I'm really missing in my life, is that sense of sisterhood. And I'm lucky enough to have two older sisters. So I have, real sisters, but they're having such a different life experience to me. And so it's hard to connect, and I really miss that. But what you've created within the Unleash program is really just a beautiful group of like-minded women, all on their different journeys still, but with that same sort of core thing that they're looking for, is to sort of become more themselves and find more, I guess, a sense of personal freedom. Well, that's certainly what it is for me, and that's something I'm picking up as well from the other members, other beautiful ladies in our group, who I'm so grateful for. Yeah, so for me, why else did I join? Yeah, if I look at my life, my career started in the corporate world, a bit like yourself, Blanca. So I've always resonated quite strongly with your story. And I left there almost 2 years ago after working for 6 years in financial due diligence. So really sort of the big flashy mergers and acquisitions world. I really felt like I started to lose myself there, and I didn't know who or what I was anymore. And so I left and I moved into a career doing coaching and private therapy as well. And I knew I had the skills to do that, but I missed that piece of, like, who am I now? I kind of felt like I knew who I was. I had this sort of mask, this sort of sense of identity as a corporate woman, and wearing the fancy suits and the high heels every day. And I sort of felt like I knew who I was to an extent, but when I stepped away from that, got rid of that sort of identity, I was like, okay, what now? So for the last couple of years, that's been something that I've really been trying to find within myself, at the same time as running my business, also going, well, who am I in this world? Who do I want to become? And how do I really get in touch with my authenticity? Because all this, marketing talk in the small business world, you've got to be authentic, you've got to be authentic. How can you be authentic if you don't really know who you are anymore? So I'm authentic in how I deal with my clients, and then I genuinely care, and all these kind of things. But it's like, what is really my message? What is really the work that I want to do in the world? And I felt like the Unleash program really provides such a beautiful container for that, and exploring all these things that hold us back, or the veils, as you so beautifully described them. And I just resonate so much with all of the content that you've put together. So that's a little bit of my monologue in a nutshell of what really drew me to the program.
I'm so excited to hear that, to hear your feedback. Yesterday we had a session, and you said something that touched my heart deeply. And you talk about how practical it is. That is spiritual, but very practical. And I really would like you to share with everybody, how do you perceive that? What is that? What do you mean? I froze, huh?
I just lost you for a moment.
Yeah, I froze. I was mentioning that yesterday we had a session of the Unleashed program, and you mentioned that you have found the program very practical. Besides being spiritual, it's very practical. And of course, it's my intention, but it's more powerful to hear from you as a participant. What does that mean? What's practical?
Yeah, well, I mean, not even going so far into, you know, the business tactics and these kind of things is, I think that's sort of secondary. But when I say practical, it's really how do we take these kind of almost spiritual tools, and I use that word carefully because it means something different for everyone, I think. But I mentioned I've done these sort of programs before that are really kind of far into the depths of spirituality, and then you sort of come back into life and interacting with all of the real world things, and you go, okay, now what do? I have a, you know, a conflict with a person. Okay, how do I deal with that? You know, I can't just, you know, go into my Zen space and white light everyone and everything's fine. It doesn't really work that way. But the way that you sort of break down these things in terms of how do we react to things, how do we manage to detach from certain situations, and where should we be investing our energy, and where do we need to take a step back, and just, I guess, helping get a little bit more in touch with your intuition and how to navigate certain challenges in life, and also not just how to sort of do these things mentally in your head. You know, I'm very much that in your head person, but how to get into your body and live it and feel it and breathe it and experience it, you know, from, you know, dancing and then shaking things out and finding these sort of ways to interrupt the patterns that you've got, through to how to kind of analyze the interactions that you have with people who, you know, are very dear to you in your life. You know, whether it's a parent or a sibling or a child, you know, how do you deal with those triggers when they come up? And that for me has been really powerful, and I've already seen those things sort of play out in my life. I've seen some big shifts, both in my relationship with my mum. I know parental relationships are a challenging thing for so many of us, and also with my boyfriend, the dynamics have changed quite dramatically there, and I think that's all to do with how I'm managing my energy. And in terms of practicalities, again, I think that's really what you've been able to distill down so beautifully in the programs. How do we manage ourselves in the context of the life that we're living? And that changes everything.
How exciting. How exciting. So for my wish and desire, because I'm so happy working with you, is to create the sisterhood of women basically just like you. Mm-hmm. So what do I mean by that? What, from your perspective and the experience that you have in the program, who is this program for? Who is the woman who could benefit the most from this program?
It's hard to pinpoint that, because even if I look at our group, I mean, I think all of us as individuals are on such different journeys, but there's something that kind of ties us all back together. And I think it's sort of a sense of seeking something greater than what we have, and being in touch with the power that we have inside, but not knowing how to actually access that and put that out into the world. I don't know if that makes sense. That's a good way to describe it. For women, I think, who believe that there's something more, that they can be more and do more and experience life in a way which is more fulfilling, you know, more fulfilling relationships, more fulfilling work, whatever it is. I think if you feel like you're missing a piece of the puzzle in really understanding why am I having this experience, then I think the Unleashed program is perfect.
So exciting. I think you already did it with this last phrase, but still I want to ask you to invite the ladies who are listening to join us, to invite that one that is on the fence to join us.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know everybody's life and everybody's situation, but I think if if what you're looking for is to find that last puzzle piece and you need some support in doing it, I think the Unleashed program is a wonderful kind of practice ground, a place to play and explore yourself a little bit more deeply, have some conversations that you might not feel safe to have anywhere else. And I feel like I can just say anything in this sort of safe space that we've got with the ladies on the program, and yourself, Blanca, leading the way. I feel really a sense of freedom to be myself, and I'm not going to be judged for anything that I might say that's, you know, controversial or doesn't fit certain, you know, mainstream dialogues or the culture that I'm, you know, meant to come from. You know, so anyone who just feels like they need a place to belong, to feel that sense of belonging, you know, I think you can find it in the Unleashed program, and you can dip your toe in or you can dive all the way in. And I think you know, the depths of the relationship you have within the program also depend on how willing you are to go into it. And I feel like every week I'm trusting it more and more, and wanting to share more of myself. And I feel that with the other ladies as well. So yeah, I don't know if that specifically answers your question. But
so exciting to hear.
Yeah,
because that's precisely what I want to build, and this is what is starting to develop, and I want to grow it. I want to grow it. I dream to, because you know how the Unleashed program is, that is just starts with 12 weeks seeing each other all every week. Every Thursday is your group. The next one will be every Wednesday, and then is once a month. So I hope that, and in the once a month, I will put together everybody who joins. It's going to be for a long time. And I want that group to grow and grow, and we get together and we start building something that is really powerful in our hearts and in our families and companies. So, and thank you so much.
it's my pleasure, Blanca. No, thank you.
That you would like to say to close?
Yeah, I just think yeah, I'm really grateful for you for creating this program and pulling all of these ideas and concepts together in the way that you have. I've not seen it anywhere else, and I really strongly believe that the world needs women to really come alive and live in their power. You know, to stop feeling like life is happening to them, but to realize it's happening for them. And I think that's exactly what you teach. So, you know, the more women we can get into our sisterhood and the community that you're building, I think the better. So thank you again for the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much. And thank everybody who was with us in this short Facebook Live, and who listened to it in the recording. I hope that you join us in the Unleashed program. The doors are closing next Wednesday. So, you know, take the action. It is important that we, even if God, if divine gives us gifts, we have to go to the mailbox to pick them up. So you do need to take action. You need to meet God halfway. Join us. You are going to be amazed by the people who are joining this program. You're going to fall in love with them. Is a sisterhood, is a community, much more important than all the content and all the techniques that I can share with you. So thank you very much, Anne. And well, we'll see you in the inside, everybody.